Hi, this is Deb Bryant from Oregon State University's Open Source Lab. I'm here at the Government Open Source Conference with Sean McSpaden from the state of Oregon. He's the state's deputy CIO, and I have cornered Sean because he's been working on the Virtual USA project. And can you give us the nugget of what the Virtual USA project is about?
I'd be glad to. The Virtual USA program began about a year and a half ago with collaboration between the states of Alabama with the Virtual Alabama platform and the state of Virginia with their Viper system. The Department of Homeland Security, Science and Technology Directorate picked that program up, began to collaborate, developed a consortium of about 7 to 10 southeast states, and really the rest is history. They completed their initial phase 1 pilot, which was designed to demonstrate an information sharing capability across multiple states to form a common operating picture for emergency management, emergency response, to provide those professionals with that kind of situational awareness.
So in practical terms, if I remember correctly, the state of Alabama had created a system that they used that made a huge difference after a crisis. In other words, where it might have taken them a month to provide information to FEMA and other responders, they had a virtual image of what the state looked like. Is that how it was used practically in that situation?
It was initially, and certainly the most recent example of how this kind of capability has been used is during the Gulf oil spill response. The 10 southeast states were able to interoperate between one another, sharing information using open data standards, not only amongst themselves but also with the private sector. That really is a leap forward to involve British Petroleum, Walmart, other folks that are involved in emergency management. They were able to pull up their respective geospatial-enabled viewers. They were able to see one another's data, essentially have a common operating picture using their own tools, the ones that they're familiar with, that their operations staff are familiar with, to respond to their portion of the Gulf oil spill effort.
And so how is open source playing a role in this particular project?
Well, certainly we've talked a bit about the Southeast region. We do have a regional pilot here in the Pacific Northwest. The states of Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, and Washington began our pilot in September of 2009. We're about to have a demonstration December 14th. Really, our goal has been interoperability. And we haven't focused so much on the use of open source code, but we certainly have focused on code sharing. The Virginia Viper system is an Adobe Flex API, ESRI, ArcGIS server-based system. The code for that was a work made for hire. It's been shared to an untold number of jurisdictions across the country. I believe the Virtual Alabama system is based on Google Enterprise with an ESRI backend. Again, proprietary products, but works made for hire, shared across states and localities across the nation. Where we move to interoperability, again, open data standards are really the key. We don't foresee a national viewer. We don't even foresee at the state level a single state viewer. What we envision is a multi-viewer environment where all emergency management and emergency responder staff need access to the same kind of data, and they need to be able to consume that in their own system, and that really has been our focus.
Right. So I know you work with Duke & Petty, of course, at the state. You have launched a data.gov site. Have you seen any early interesting participation or use of the information as you've released that early on?
Well, I think in some respects it's too early to tell. That said, we do have the right players involved. The Department of Environmental Quality is a key partner of ours. The Department of Transportation. We have for our data.gov program, we do have a wide and varied focus of interest. We want program data of all kinds, but we want to be able to match that up with our geospatial data holdings. The other issue is that ultimately we don't want to create a scenario where people have to repetitively or redundantly download data and store it. We want to instead provide open data services so that applications of all kind can simply consume a service, view the information they need at the time they need it without having to store it.
Great. All right. Well, thank you very much.
You bet.
Appreciate
Thank you.
your time.
I appreciate it.